Think about an environment where there are endless points of consciousness. Who do you think knows better for you what you want than you? Do you think it's something that you would like to turn over to your government? Would you like your government to be the one who makes sure that you have the food that you want? We don't think so. What happened in New Orleans was not so much a failure of government. Oh, they failed. But it isn't because of government failure. It is because of misplaced understanding of what a large entity is capable of doing for individuals. So, Source understands that. In other words, Source knows that there's no one better than you, whether you are the one-celled amoeba in the ocean or whether you are this genius human sitting here in this chair. Source energy knows that there is no one better than you out here on the leading edge where you live to conclude what's best for you. And Source is so sure of that, that in the moment that the leading edge consciousness concludes something, Source agrees. So now there's only one other thing that must be factored in order to understand how your emotional guidance system works, and that is, where's your belief or expectation relative to this thing that you want? So you were moving through life, you went to the mailbox, you got a great big bill, you don't have enough money to pay it, and you launched a rocket of desire that says, I want more money. In fact, I want a lot more money. And Source says, agreed. One point of vibrational relativity has been established. You and all that you are, including who you were before you got into this body, and including who you are as you lived in this very valid perspective in this body, all of who you are concluded that that's what you want and is in utter alignment with it. And now here you are, going through your checkbook, feeling frustrated, looking at the things that your wife wrote checks for and feeling angry, remembering the vacation you took that cost a fortune that wasn't even that much fun and feeling ornery about it. In other words, how are you doing in relationship with this desire? Because if you are feeling joyful, you're in alignment with it. If you are feeling appreciation, you're in alignment with it. If you're feeling hopeful, you're nearly in alignment with it. If you are feeling angry, you're far from alignment with it. If you are feeling fearful, you're further from alignment with it. If you are feeling angry, you're getting closer to alignment with it. If you are feeling hopeful, you're getting closer to alignment. If you are beginning to believe that things will get better, you're closer to alignment. When you believe and know that all is well with you, you're in alignment. And do you know that it does not take much to bring yourself from anywhere on that emotional scale into alignment with your own desires? And that is all that is necessary. So did you get that? We thought that was stated very, very well. Vibrational relativity, meaning how am I doing right here, right now in relationship with what I really want? So if I'm worried about money, I'm nowhere near lined up with all that I want. Do you know that when you offer a signal that is a clear signal, you are so influential, and law of attraction can respond to you so powerfully. It is uncanny how fast it happens. When you decide and you line up with what you've decided, it happens fast. It happens instantaneously in many cases, because source energy knows everybody that wants everything and how all of it relates to everything that you want. And will line up the rendezvous to accommodate all of you, you see. But you can't want something and doubt it and offer a signal that's strong enough ever. In other words, you've got to send a signal. And when you send a signal, you will be matched and gratified and satisfied, because that's the way the law of attraction always works. You get what you are offering vibrationally, whether you know that you are offering it vibrationally or not. And what we want to help you to understand is that you can know what you're offering vibrationally. You've got a guidance system within you that will let you know that. As Jerry and Esther are traveling from Phoenix to San Diego, they do it frequently. It's a 400-mile journey, and it's very easy to understand. Just get on the road, head west, and keep going, and you'll make it. Not hard at all. And since the journey is so easy to understand, they never get halfway or thereabouts, say Yuma, and are so discouraged that they're in Yuma instead of San Diego that they get disoriented and turn around and go back to Phoenix. That journey is understandable. But we see you sometimes on your journey, well along your way, on your journey from sickness to wellness, getting about halfway, taking score of where you are, getting discouraged, turning around, and going back to Phoenix. And the reason that you sometimes are well along the way to a lot more money, well along the way to a much better relationship, well along the way to a much better feeling body, but don't get there, is because you haven't learned to quantify that journey. You're listening to this one. Go this way. Try this. Try this. Try this. Oh, that's not working. Try this. Try this. Try this. You hear from the peanut gallery that surrounds you. And what we've noticed is you go this way and this way and this way. Phoenix, Yuma, 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 Phoenix, Yuma. And then you announce San Diego is an impossible dream. And we say, no, it isn't. Just get pointed in the right direction and keep going. You must make it. You've got emotions within you that let you know when you're moving in the right direction. When you feel good, you're on your way to where you want to be. When you feel bad, you're on your way to some place you don't want to be. Your emotions let you know everything about how you're doing. The universe is not responding to your reality. The universe is responding to your perception of reality, you see. And so when you deliberately take an emotional journey, you offer a vibration that causes law of attraction to respond to you differently. You see how it works? It is our desire to help you to identify how you're doing emotionally or vibrationally. Because if you can improve the way you feel just a little bit, your whole point of attraction shifts. When you are in vibrational alignment with what you want and who you are, we call that allowing. In fact, we call the entire gathering the art of allowing, because it's the art of learning how to get up there in vibrational alignment with who you really are and what you want. So let's take a subject. What subject do you want to play with first? Throw something out. Money. Well, it's big. Money interfaces with you all day, every day in lots of different ways. And you have lots of different emotional responses to money. So it's a good one to begin with. So let's say that you're standing where you are, and where should it be? Should it be with plenty of money or with not quite enough money? Should it be with really not enough money or just not quite enough money? Just not quite enough money. So here you are. It doesn't matter where you are. Here you are. Wherever you are is where you are, and here you are. So here you are, and so you're having responses to life. You're having conversations with yourself. You're having thoughts in your own mind. You're giving your attention to this subject of money. So let's say that you went to the mailbox, you got the American Express bill, you had no idea how much you spent. It knocks the wind out of you. You know that there's not enough to pay it. You're thinking about how you need to call them and make some sort of other arrangements. And you have this knot in the pit of your stomach that we would describe as not so much fear, although maybe fear, but true annoyance, disappointment, concern, discomfort about money. So there you are, in your powerful now, where all of your power is. And so you say, I don't know why I do this to myself. So the question that we want to ask you is, which way did that statement cause you to fork? Did you fork to the corner that you don't want to go to, or to the corner that you do want to go to? So, I've lost my mind. I don't know what I'm doing. What in the world was I thinking? Now, you forked over there pretty good, but it doesn't matter where you were. The only thing that matters is where you are. So now you say, wait a minute. I'll figure this out as you begin forking this way. And then you say, I always find a way. And then you say, I'm a good credit risk or I wouldn't have this card. And then you say, I'll call them and I'll make some arrangements and it'll be all right and we'll get back on track next month. In other words, you don't solve anything this red hot minute. You just do your best to start listing in the direction of where you want to end up. Because if you continue to fork in that direction, you're going to eventually have a manifestation that's not going to please you when you get there. And this is the thing that we really want you to hear. Negative emotion within you means that you are systematically marching toward manifestations that you're not going to like when you get there. Now, 99% of every creation is complete vibrationally before you see any manifestational evidence of it. So this is a wonderful thing to keep in your mind, isn't it? Because in every moment you're offering a vibration that is causing you to lean one way or the other. And since 99% of every creation is complete before you see the evidence, you can get pretty well in the direction of something you don't want, sometimes so far that you can't stop the momentum of it. Sometimes we see people, they'll have an experience where something will happen, and they'll say, it came out of the blue. And we say, no, it didn't. It didn't come out of the blue. You've been marching systematically in that direction for a long time. You were just oblivious to the negative emotion. You were just forgetting that negative emotion means I'm headed in the direction of what I don't want. So that's the most important thing that we want to get across as we are beginning here today, is that in every moment you're moving towards something. And the question is, how do I feel? And if the answer is not that good, then we would suggest that you make an effort here and now, which is all you can do, to begin leaning in the other direction. And you know, a little bit of effort to just move in the other direction makes such a big difference in your vibrational point of attraction. An effort of just a little more than a minute will shift your vibrational point of attraction so dramatically that something that hasn't happened in 2 years will happen almost immediately. It doesn't matter how long you've been without something that you want. When you clean your vibration up about it, the universe can deliver it to you quickly. You're creators. You're on the leading edge of thought. You didn't come here to fix things that are broken. You came to be wherever you are, to let wherever you are inspire the new. And Source was so sure that where you were was the perfect place for you to be, that Source said, we trust you as the leading edge of that which is us, to have a leading edge experience and to give birth to a desire. And when you do, we know you so much. We know you're worthy so much. We love you so much. We will join the desire that you give birth to. The question of this forum is, are you going to join the desire that you have given birth to? And if you don't, you will not be satisfied. In other words, you cannot hold yourself back. The evolution of every species is about contrasting experience, causing a preference to be born, Source agreeing with the preference. The difference is that the one-celled amoeba goes along with what Source is. The beasts of your planet go right along. The flora and fauna go right along. It's usually only the resistant humans that say, I'm not sure I'm allowed to want. Isn't this utterly selfish of me to want this? And we say, well, Source doesn't think it's selfish. Source went and became at one with it. And the reason that you don't feel good is because you have not joined Source in their agreement with your birthing of our evolution. That was really good. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. Nothing is off limits. You will notice a wonderful unfolding. Things will evolve magically, or so it will seem. Everything that you want to know, we are aware of, and we will wedge it in the crack. Do not worry. Nothing will go unanswered. Stop for a moment and think about what you want. Think about the events of your recent life and the questions that they've caused you to ask. Think about the things that are percolating in your reality right now. Think about the things that you've been wanting and your relationship with them. And let us together not only take thought beyond that which it has been before, but let us together close the gap, the vibrational gap between where you are and where you really want to be. Good.